everyone, and welcome. If you like creating magical fantasy inspired builds in your Dreamlight Valley, in this video I show you how I turned this new cozy bookshop home into a hidden magical library deep in the enchanted forest of Everafter biome in Storybook Vale. And I want to show you exactly how I built it and share 3 design tricks that made this build come together. Let's start with the biome of choice. This section is part of the wild woods in Ever After, separated from the rest of the woods by a river. There is a path on the back going down to the first trial area, and we have another path going down to the bind with a very stark edge between blue and orange dominated color palettes. Initially, I wanted to make the cozy town build with this bookshop in the bind, but this house looks very blue and didn't really fit with the rest of the warm tone cottages down there. In the game, this house looks less saturated compared to the preview image, so I actually think it looks the best up here in the Ever After. It inspired me to create this hidden magical library in the forest, surrounded by ancient ruins and enchanted items. I'm starting with the central section in front of the bookshop, where I'm using Celestial Pond and Autumnal Clock Tower as the complementary items to form this main focal point. Also, I'm using the mossy stone walls to start outlining the sections where I'm planning to have my paths. I definitely want to keep that trial area accessible, even though we can decorate it, but all of the most used resources keep spawning there, and I need to make my way there regularly to collect them all. I want to make sure to fit some large trees around the build early on, to lock in that footprint and to be able to decorate with smaller bushes and plants later on. The first trick to this build is to use secondary items to point to or lead back to your main area. For example, I used the stained glass greenhouse frame to fill the empty space on the right. I'm gonna have it surrounded with trees and plants and have a path going through it, looping back around the area, leading back to the bookshop. And I'm blocking out those foliage sections some more by adding a few mid-sized trees to add to the height variation. After all, this needs to look more like a forest. The second trick is to have the pathing to flow through the build and to always have an alternative side path. The celestial pond can be used as an alternative path, or you can go through the greenhouse to get to the trial area, and then come back following the path in front of the bookshop to come out of the floral arch and head down to the bind or across the river. I used 2 of these book arches. Another one is leading to the trial area, and it's more hidden behind the willow trees. I'm using the 2x2 tile pathing here to keep that wild forest feel, but still having the pathing structure helping to tie the build together. To add whimsy to the build, I'm using the paper swirls in a few corners of the path, plus the flying books around the autumnal clock tower, adding to that magical library theme. I'm starting to add some foliage and underbush items. I want to use pink toadstools and pair it with the Storybook Vale glowing mushrooms. I also use the vault flowers. They have this blue tint and they actually don't have that crazy animation like the Alice in Wonderland whistle flowers do. To have the path to go through the center of the greenhouse, I had to shift everything slightly to the right and have enough space to fit these large blue fir trees. I'm mostly using Everafter trees in this build to stick to the similar color palette, and also a few willow trees to frame the bookshop and the entrances. I love these overhanging branches. They help to create this mystical and intimate atmosphere. I forgot to mention in the beginning that I built a wall section to the right side of the bookshop, and now I'm building a small outdoor library to the left side. If you don't have the Night Castle walls, you can use something like a vine wall from the Lion King collection. This will help to better enclose the house and create this cozy book nook corner. I'm using the royal bookshelves, and in order to make it work, you need to place them at the straight angles to avoid any gaps in between. They serve as this perfect backdrop to this bookshop house. Just need to add the pathing section to enclose the area and decorate these two spaces on both sides to include even more book-themed decor to bring that magical library look to life. And don't forget to add a few candles. It's the first rule for any academia aesthetic. Here I am decorating the river banks with some reeds, and I also placed the moontide glow waves in the river because it looks so pretty and magical, especially in the evening light. And to add extra whimsy when walking through this area, I added a couple lily pad frogs. When you close by, they start jumping and making noises. This build has quite a few animations going on. The third trick is using lighting to add accents to your build. I placed the lampposts close to these paper swirls, making it look like the paper is flying around the lamppost. It makes the biggest difference after the sunset. There are a few lamps that cast this large cone of light, like these raw iron street lamps or Main Street lampposts, and it illuminates the paper swirls. And when you place them spread out through the build alongside your path, they help to light up the whole area. Now, a quick look overhead. We have the main layout done, with clear pathing laid out and all the main items. The last section of the build is to fill these areas with some small decor and candles, and add in more bushes and plants to tidy up those foliage areas. I also like to use flowering wood fences as individual posts on wall edges and mixing it with plants. By the way, if you didn't get this new Cozy Bookshop house, this build could also work with Provincial Library House from Belle's Bundle or a Purple Cottage if you have it. At the end, I like to switch to the full nighttime to see if there is enough lighting in the area. If there are any dark spots, I could always add some more bright lampposts. The floating candles have a really pretty glow, but don't really help to illuminate the area. And the last touch are these bookish tiles. It's like this item was made for this build. You can also add it around book piles to have these books spread all over your library floor. And here is the finished magical library. Let me walk you through it properly. Here is my favorite part when walking through this book arch. I think it's especially pretty at the sunset when the bookshop windows are illuminated. And I also added some lampposts behind the bookshelves to have some more light in those dark spots. The golden book stand perfectly aligns with the celestial pond path. And this view can actually be really good for a dream snap. Following the path further, we can get to the trial area. And on the way back, go through the greenhouse to loop back around. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want to see more Storybook Vale decorating ideas, I just did the MERIDA's castle in the Fallen Fortress. And I will be decorating even more biomes very soon. With Hercules update, I see some Mythopia builds coming up. So stay tuned for that and subscribe so you don't miss it. Leave a like if you love this build, it would help me a lot. And I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.